So that setup talk out of the way, we're going to move on to orders. And we'll go ahead and show you how to place orders inside of Sara Plus now as well. Again, if you are that type of dealer who does both residential and commercial, that's what this little link right here is for. So you can switch on over to commercial. For our demo today, we're just going to go ahead and show you residential. So if you see this customer interaction type selection, it's pretty simple. If the customer's on the phone, they're not in person, select not present, and then you can continue. If they are face-to-face with the customer, they're present, we then need to know, are you door to door? So are you at their home, or are you out at an event, or are you at your own store or retail location or office type thing? And then again, continue with your order. So now this is where we can start, where we can send a secure link to the customer to start the order, or for dealers who have this as an optional, you can go ahead and type in the information. Either way, we need to collect some credit customer information to determine what services can be sold. So we've got our first name, our last name. We're going to click out of email. It's going to do a quick little email validation for us. And then finally, we need the address, because service availability is address specific. So once we have the address, we can then search for customer. This is not searching AT&T system for a customer. This is searching for, have you created a customer record inside of Sara Plus? So when we say new customer, that's a new customer record, not a new customer specifically to AT&T. So that way, if you've worked with this customer in the past, you can always select the previous record to go back into the orders, and we can see for this one, we've had credit run, which means they've already collected the credit information. It's already got a saved credit information in there. It's going to be masked, so you don't see it as the agent, but you don't have to collect that from the customer again. They're a new customer you haven't worked with before, you select new customer. Finally, if you're a dealer who can sell non-fulfillment and fulfillment, make sure you select which one you're going to sell. In this case, we're doing fulfillment. And then before we go ahead and build sales offer and get into order entry, there's a couple more things you can do. First one is up here in the top right, sales help. So if you need any additional resource management, we have that. So for example, CCKM, there's a link there. There's a link to the mobile sales tool, which is MST. There's channel lineups, local channel guides, stuff like that, in case you need that. The other thing we have is service availability. So what this is going to do is this is going to determine what products can be sold to this customer. So before I even get into the order, I can kind of have an idea of what to expect to be able to sell. And if internet's available, what speed of internet's going to be available to sell as well. So not only can we see that AT&T internet is available, and what speeds are available, we also can see wireless is available. So the other thing we can do here is if the customer wanted to know, hey, I'm really looking for this specific phone and color, is it in stock? We can go and click here, and we can get an idea of if the phone's in stock, and if it's not, how long it's out of stock for. As you can see, a lot of the phones are currently out of stock or on back order due to the chip shortage that's global. On Friday, when the new iPhone 13 launches, they'll be included in here as well. So that's coming actually tomorrow, 9/17. So you'll see those phones in there as well once they are available to pre-order. So we're good to go. So we're going to go build sales offer. So this is going to go ahead and take us into our actual service selection now. So this is going to load usually for about 20 to 30 seconds. What it's doing is it's running our service qualification. So it's pulling your dealer code and then sending it over to AT&T and say, hey, what can this dealer code sell? And then it's going to go ahead and also say what's available based off the address. And then it's going to populate a list like we have here. So if they want DirecTV Stream, we put that on there by default. If they say, oh no, I just want wireless, you can just go straight into wireless and do a wireless order, or maybe they want to just internet today. You can go on over to the internet tab. So any tab you see available, that means there's a product that could be sold under that tab. So if there was no internet tab at all, that's an indication that internet cannot be sold at this address. So for our order today, if we wanted video, we could do DirecTV, or we could do DirecTV Stream, either one. So we're going to show you DirecTV Stream, and then I'll go ahead and bundle it with internet and show you kind of how that's done. So first thing, when I click on my package, there's a little hover over disclosure to read to the customer. So if we hover over, there's a read to stream, lets them know about their internet speed requirement, as well as compatible devices required. Lets you know about refund policy, stuff like that. Regional sports included, and some other information customers are needed to be provided. This information will also be provided later in the terms and conditions, but it's also should be read to the customer here. Again, if you need a channel lineup or check the local regional sports networks, we do have those options here, or you can always go up to the sales help and do the same thing as well. I'm gonna move on to next, and now I need to run that credit check. So again, this is where you could send the secure link to the customer, or as the agent, you can enter it yourself. So even if you're entering it as the agent, as you're typing it in, you'll see and notice that it's masked, so that you'll never actually see it once it's entered. So the same thing if the customer entered it through the secure link, it would be masked as well. So that we always try and protect your agents security wise. If you do see the info quality check, this is one last chance to make sure the name is spelled correctly. So basically, this is a proprietary thing, the Sara Plus. We use publicly available data to see if there's ever been a record of this name at that address previously. If there is, you won't see this page. If there hasn't, it's just one last check to make sure you have everything correct before you run that credit check. So maybe, for example, you had entered Steve and really it should have been Steven on their credit file. So you have one last chance to update that. But now we're actually running credit. Again, this usually takes about 20 to 30 seconds. Once it's done, we're going to get a determination of our credit result. So it's going to let us know what our risk rating was because we have video on here. So low, medium, or high. And then based off of that result, it's going to let us know if we can do installment plan or not. So we came back low risk, which means DirecTV Stream, we are able to do installment plan for our devices. So if the customer says, I want 2 devices, but I want to pay monthly for them, you can do that. So I selected installment at the top, and then I selected 2 streams. We can also do pay in full if the customer wants to pay for them in full today, or if they want 0 devices, that's under pay in full. So we got that 0 device here. One last thing you'll notice, so AT&T is recently launching their pilot of the inventory on hand for DirecTV Stream. If you are one of those pilot dealers, that's where it's at right down here. Or in the future, when it's live for all dealers, this is what it's going to look like. You would select your number of receivers they want, and then you would select yes, you're going to use your own inventory, and then you would enter the serial number and validate it for the device that you're going to be giving to the customer. That's how that works. Fortunately for our demo here, I'm going to have to do just normal ship to customer. So last thing I'll do is there is a limited 2-year device warranty. So once you provide to the customer, check the box. We'll move on over to next. So this is where the offers are. So right now on our demo environment, there's just 2 offers. There's the unlimited cloud DVR for $10 a month. And then of course there's the HBO free for 3 months with HBO Max when you order the choice and above package. In the near future, if there's any more added, those of course would show here. But for now, these are the ones that they're called rule to pay for the HBO promotion, for example. But these are set to no answer. So if you hover over here, there's a little exclamation point, lets you know you must select yes or no. Right now, they're set to no answer. So pretty simple. Click once for yes. Customer wants to add this to their order. Click twice for no. Customer does not want to add it to their order. Pretty simple. If they say, oh yeah, actually go ahead and add it, just click it again and it'll go back to red. Or sorry, it'll go back to green for yes, for red. Premium channels, so if the customer wants any of those premium add-ons, they're under premium, so something like the movie extra pack or Epics or Stars or Showtime. If there's any available sports at the time, those will show their sports. And then of course, international, they want something like their in Espanol add-on package. That's of course in their international. From there we hit next. So this is where we need to go ahead and get a PIN from the customer. So what's going to happen is you confirm the correct email they're going to send this to, then type it in again, and then you hit send PIN. And when you do, AT&T is going to then send a PIN to the customer's email. So customer will go into their email and they would get that PIN for you. And then from there, you would hit the validate PIN option. Pretty simple. Once it's checkbox, okay, confirm that was correct. That's all it is. After the order is placed, AT&T will then reach out to that same email and it'll let them then finalize their account and so they can start watching their service immediately if they want to. Last thing we need to do down here is verify our billing address and or shipping address if both show. So yes, we do want it billed to our service address. Very important. If your credit card you're going to use is not billed to the same zip code as your service address, select no to this question and enter the address it is shipped to because that's the only zip code the payments page is going to accept is what's entered here. Okay, so from here I'm done. I can finalize. I can finish my order. But I'm going to show you how easy it is to bundle. So at this point, I can go ahead and bundle internet or I could bundle wireless with video. I could do either one or both. In this case, we'll just do a simple double play with video and internet. So internet 300's more than fast enough for this customer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select that package and then it's going to load here. Usually about 5 to 10 seconds. Our demo count may load a little longer here today. But what this is doing is it's adding that product to your order over there in the cart, as well as it's pulling in any additional promotional offers that may come with bundling video and internet. So whether that be a gift card because you bundled, or there's an additional base promotion or something simple like that, it's going to auto add that to your order for you. So there, going to hit next. So based off of the credit for this customer, AT&T saying they're going to need an advance payment of $100. So this is something specific to our demo account, but this is something that could happen on a live customer. So even though they're low risk for video, internet may still require a prepay, for example. It's rare, but it does happen. So at this point, the customer can remove their internet or they can agree and pay the $100 up front for their prepay. It's the same kind of page that would show if they were high risk for video, for example, and had a credit fee due today. So right here where it says internet install fee, this is how you're going to know if the customer is getting professional install or they're getting self-install. So it's going to show one or the other, depending on the customer's location, if they've had service, if lines are hooked up, stuff like that. In this case, for a test environment, it's assuming the customer's never had service there, so it needs some lines run, some work done, so it needs professional install. From there, we hit next. There is no additional offers. So again, now we can go ahead and finalize, which I'm going to go ahead and do. Again, this is another one of the optional pages where you can send that secure link to the customer if they want to enter their own information. Otherwise, as the agent, you would enter it yourself. Just be aware some dealers may be required to use secure link. If you are, you will only see the option. You won't, these fields will be grayed out. From there, we're going to hit T&C, which just stands for terms and conditions, and we're going to go ahead and really finalize our order and get to the end of it so we can get it submitted. So there's just a few more pages left. So we're going to have our terms and conditions. Our test environment here may have a checklist, which most dealers won't see. Then we'll collect payment. We'll schedule our order, and then we'll get our order summary. So right now we're running what's known as order qualification. So it's basically um, sending all the information over to AT&T, make sure it didn't miss anything, any outstanding balances, anything like that, any promotions. If it's good to go, you're gonna get this page here, which is your terms and conditions. Again, another one that can be sent to the customer. This is one of the more common ones that is sent to the customer so they can read it themselves and really understand what their terms are for service before they sign up. Otherwise, you can always still present them to the customer as the agent if you're not required to use Secure Link. So once you've read all the terms to the customer, you simply check the box. There is a customer service agreement you can click on to view as well. So if the customer wants information on that, that's because there's internet on the order. That one also shows for wireless. And then lastly, you'll just see a simple checkbox. Customers have been provided all the following information. Only retail sees the checklist, so you won't ignore that. Payments page. So once you get to payments, again, this is the last part of the order where you can send secure link because it's the last part of the order that you really need to collect anything from the customer. Again, if the customer is just providing the information to the agent, they would just go ahead and type it in. As you can see, they do have the option for auto bill pay for their internet. So if they want auto bill pay for internet, pretty simple, check the box once for yes, twice for no. Same thing if I had DirecTV on here, so the DirecTV stream, this would then be the option of adding the auto bill pay for the video and internet portion. DirecTV stream requires auto bill pay as part of its terms. So if I only had DirecTV stream, I would not see auto bill pay at the bottom at all because you're automatically required to sign up for it, which it would use today's card information. So I've collected my card information. Last thing I need to do is process that payment. So what's going to happen when you hit process payment is it's going to send that information over to AT&T DirecTV, and they will then attempt to charge the customer. If it's successful, it's going to move on to the next step. If it's not successful, you may get a message why. Maybe the zip code is wrong, CVV was wrong, expiration date was wrong, there's not enough funds, it's a wrong card type. So you're trying to use a prepaid card, for example, and that can't be accepted for DirecTV Stream. Otherwise, most people are going to get payment accepted and it's going to move on to the next step, which again is scheduling because I do have internet on the order. So it wants me to go ahead and schedule it. So we select a date and then move on over to our order summary. At this point, if you get to the calendar, the order has been submitted, just so you're aware. You can no longer go back at that point because payment's been accepted. So even if you didn't schedule it, it's still been accepted. In this case, I now get my order summary. So then customer would also have received an email at this point as well, letting them know what's on their order. Same order summary you have here. But as the agent, you review it. It's got your account numbers on there for the customer. It's got any install dates, and then it's got the card type and the zip code that was used. And of course, there's always a view order summary link here if you need it for to get a copy for your records. That's really it for placing an order. So we got a couple more tabs we're going to cover before we take any questions. First one is customers page. So this is the CRM portion of Sara Plus, so customer resource management, CRM. This is where you can view all customer records you've ever added to Sara Plus as the dealer or the rep, sales rep. And if you're looking for a record you don't see, you can always go ahead and look them up by any of these fields up here. But as long as you placed an order or created the record in Sara Plus, it's always going to show here. So this includes both the leads and orders all in one. If you want to see only your leads and you don't care about records with the orders placed, that's what the leads only slider option is here for. So we look at an order 104. So that's the order we're looking for. So go ahead and select that one. And then from here, we can see again our account numbers. We see if we click on the product, for example, we could then see more information about it. So if this was a live order, it would have our scheduled date for internet. Once it ships out as a DirecTV Stream order, it would also have our DirecTV Stream tracking information for any devices that were ordered. If we go ahead and view order summary, again, it's going to have that same copy of the order summary that we had at the end of the order as well, in case we didn't get a copy then and we want a copy now. It'll also let us know if secure link was used for any of those pages. So if you ever want to go back and review, customer says, "Oh, well, you must have stolen my information because you entered it," and you go back and see, "I'm sorry, Mr. Customer, I actually show that you entered it yourself. We never had access to that information while placing your order." Kind of, you know, a good indication for you or for your managers to know if that secure link process was used or not, that secure data. Once you're done looking at the record, the other thing you can do is if you maybe ordered video and now you want to go order wireless, what you can do is you always hit the right here, it says new order, it was in green letters. If you go ahead and click that, that will take you on back over to the orders page so you can actually start a new order using the same customer record instead of having to come back to the orders page and search for it. It'll just automatically pull it up for you. So then you go back into an order. Same thing if you started an order and didn't finish one, you can always click that new order option to come back over here. And then it would have all that credit information you've already entered saved to it, so you don't have to click it again. Last tab we're going to cover before we take any questions is analytics. So analytics is just our reporting tab in Sara Plus. So we have a bunch of different reports. It always starts off you on sales dashboard. So this report's very simple. I'm actually going to log on over to one of our other demo accounts so I can show you some actual information. It is, again, just going to be test information, but it's at least something populated for you to look at. Okay, analytics. And then we're going to set a date range for what we're looking for sales information for. In this case, we'll go back to June. I'm going to go ahead and submit. And then once it's done loading, it's going to go ahead and populate any information for the report based off of the date range you've selected. So for example, in this date range, there were 7 demo orders placed under this account. They were all DirecTV Stream. So if I want more information on them, I would come up to the service and change it from all to DirecTV Stream. And then when this is done loading, it's going to then provide a slightly different view of the report that's more tailored to the DirecTV Stream sales information. So in this case, it shows me how many records were created, how many of those, so basically how many orders were started, which is records, verified, so how many of those got to the credit check portion, and then of those, how many sales ended up being placed, and then install plan percentages of the orders placed, how many had an install plan on them, and then the device count overall. So for 12 sales, there were 13 devices ordered, and then what was your close percentage and how many of your credit results were low or medium and or low sales. If you were looking for something for maybe wireless and you wanted more, if I was placing wireless orders, so the wireless dashboard, or sorry, sales dashboard would be more catered to wireless orders. So it would show stuff like line counts and type of lines ordered, that kind of stuff. So next up is install dashboard. This one is pretty simple, just like the sales dashboard was your sales numbers. Install dashboard is your install numbers, install/cancel numbers. So again, we go back to the same date range. So this one is a little different because if you keep it on all, it's just going to give you percentages. So this one you really want to select a service to get more information about actual numbers as opposed to just percentages. So again, if we come back over here and we select DirecTV Stream, let it reload the report, we're then going to get some actual numbers. I'm expecting all of them to be canceled, but that happens. So if you wanted to match up though your sales dashboard to your install dashboard, so right now install dashboard is showing just orders that were installed or canceled in my date range, whereas sales dashboard was showing sales placed in that date range. I can go ahead and match that up by clicking the date type over here on the right and change it to sales date. So instead of looking at install/cancel dates, I'm looking at sales dates and then how many of those orders that have been placed are still open, how many of them have been installed, and how many have been canceled. Because if you're just looking at install dates, those orders could have been placed a month before they were installed, but they would then show in the date range because you're looking at just install dates. Next up is wireless dashboard. So this is a big report for wireless dealers who sell wireless. When I get to the next report, which is sales history, it shows you orders placed and can only tell you how many lines were ordered. This report here will not only tell you how many lines were ordered, it'll show you the actual line information for those orders. So that's kind of what that report's for. The wireless dashboard is really to see the line information for the orders themselves. So this will show you what type of line it was. So BYOD, new line, port line, upgrade line type stuff. And then it'll also show you the phone that was selected. And then it'll also show you if it's back ordered, how long until it expects to ship. So very handy report for looking up wireless orders. So again, next report, I'm going to click on detail reports. It's going to load sales order history by default. So again, if I go back to that June 1st date and select get orders, when it's done loading, it's going to go ahead and show me some information for the orders that are placed in that date range. So what we're going to get is stuff like order date, IDs, times like that. But what I really want to do is change the report view from quick to full. So when it's on quick, for example, right now for customer information, it's just giving me the customer name. But if I want more information on these orders, change that to full, and then we can see stuff like the dealer code that was used, for example, if you're a dealer who has multiple dealer codes. You see the customer's name, but you're also going to see their phone number, their email, their address that was used on those orders. When you come on over to the video product, you're going to see the provider. If this was DirecTV, for example, there'd be a video account type. So if you're a dealer who does your own installs, it would say non-fulfillment or fulfillment, so you know which type of order it was. The current status, the account number, of course, the package that was ordered. If they are ATD TV and they order devices to be shipped, once we have that shipping information, like the date, it'll have that populated for you, including the tracking number and the carrier that's used. Then you got stuff like the total devices ordered, some activation information on the devices, your install date for video, your cancel date in case the order was canceled, your credit results for the credit that was run. We come on a little further and we get the internet provider, so we can see stuff like internet account number, the package that was ordered for internet, the highest speed that was available for internet. So for example, internet 1000 was available, but we only ordered internet 300. We can see that to see what the customer went with versus what was available. If the order was self-install or not. And as we get down a little bit further, we get to the wireless portion of the report. So again, wireless line count, how many of each type of line was ordered, if it was activated or not, if it was activation date, otherwise if it was canceled, the cancel date, that kind of stuff. So lots of information, including was secure data used or not for the order. And then lastly, the thing we want to cover is activities report. So where we had a customers page, which is just all of our customer records, and then we have a sales order history, which is our sales placed. The activities log is kind of a mix of both. So if a customer started or sales agent started an order, did not finish it, that's kind of what this report's for, because it'll show you not only orders that did get finished, but orders that were only started and not finished. That way you can always go back and review what your sales agents are doing every day as far as attempting to place orders. So just because they didn't submit the order doesn't mean you don't have information on what they've done. So if we come in here and look, we can see we've got a lot of different information. So we've got the time the order was started, the order ID that was generated, the agent who was submitting the order, the customer's information that was entered on that order. Then we scroll on over, we can see how long they were in the order for. We can see what product they attempted. So if they attempted video, was it AT&T TV, which is now DirecTV Stream, or was it DirecTV? If it was DirecTV, was credit run? If it was, what was the credit result? If it was DirecTV Stream, what the DirecTV Stream credit result was? If it was wireless credit results. Was analyst review triggered or not? Was internet attempted? If internet was attempted, what provider? Because that's very important with PIP being available, as well as some of the other providers besides AT&T coming very soon to Sarah Plus. And then what speeds were available and what speed was added to the order if it was, that kind of stuff. And then of course, was the sale placed or not? So yes, so the yes ones are sales placed, the no ones are just orders that were started but didn't get finished. So very handy report, not only for sales reps to go back and review what they've done in case they need to find a customer order to go right back into that order, because there is that option. So we scroll over to the front, we can see we can click the order. So if I didn't finish this order and I need to start it over again, I can click order. It's going to take me over to the orders page, the information filled out to finish it. Same thing with the manager. You can see how long your agents are in an order for. If they didn't submit it, maybe kind of what they've done. You can see what products were added and how far maybe they got. So that's the end of the presentation portion. From here, I'll go ahead and take any questions.